Hey there everyone, and in this video we are going to see how many-to-many relations works in Prisma. So what I have done is I have cleaned up everything, like removed all the old tables and have created three new tables. One is a user table, one is a product table, and one is a tag table so that I can explain things better. So if you go into the database, you can see that we have three tables, and in the product I have few products, and same in the user I have few users. So let's go ahead and see how it works. So the idea is for many-to-many relations. So the idea is product has multiple tags, and one tag is associated with multiple products. So product will have one tag, and one tag will product will have multiple tags, and one tag will be associated to multiple products. So that's what many-to-many relation is. So in Prisma, we have two type of relation, many-to-many relation. One is implicit and one is explicit. So in this lecture, we will see how implicit relation works. So in the implicit, we don't have to take care of the pivot table. So pivot table is created by Prisma in the background. So I'll show you. So first, let's establish the relation between this product table and the tag table. So what I have to do is I have to say tags, and it will be of tag array. So it's very straightforward. Product has multiple tags, so it will have tags as a key and tag array as a data type. And same in the tag, it will have products, and it will be of type product array. So that's all you have to do for an implicit relation. Prisma will pick it automatically and create a pivot table for you. So let's go into the terminal and run the migrate command. So npx prisma migrate dev -- name is equal to link product tag table. Now let's see. So it's successful, and if you go into the database and hit refresh, you can see that we have this pivot table called product to tag. So it has two things. One is the product ID and one is the tag ID. So if you are aware about how many-to-many relation works is, it has a pivot table, so it has two IDs. One is the product, one table ID, the primary key of one table, and the other column is the primary key of another table. So that's how we store many-to-many relations. It's not possible to have it without any pivot table. So that's how it works. So as you can see that we haven't written any code for this product to tag table. So that's what implicit relation means in Prisma. So we don't have to take care of the pivot table. It's taken care by the Prisma in the background. So let's see and insert some products with tag. So what I have created is I have created a post route with products, and I want to create one product. So const product is equal to wait simple prisma dot product dot create, and in the create we have a data field. Some things will come from request body, all the things will come from request body. I don't think so we need to give anything extra. Click up and then you will see response.json and product. Okay, it is giving error because we have missed the parenthesis. Now let's give it a try, and I'll just modify this route. I'll call as products display 2D UCDS. Sorry for all the spelling mistakes. It will be a post route, and in the body, in the raw as a JSON, we will give product title as simple test product with tag, and in the price we will say it's 30, and in the tags we will say it's an array, and it will be another JSON. And let's see what tag is. Tag has name, so name will be, let's suppose, tag 1, and second element will be same name as tag 2. Okay, so let's hit send, and there is an error. So what's the error is? So unknown arg date in the date of type product. Did you mean data? Okay, I guess I have made some spelling mistake, so it should be data. Okay, let's give it another try. It's still giving an error. Now what's the issue? Yn dot validate arguments got invalid values tag 1 and tag 2. Okay, so we'll do it another way. I was thinking like we don't have to do anything else. So request dot body, and in the tags we will say create, and then we'll pass certain things. And then we will say request dot body dot tags. Now let's see if it's working or not. Yeah, now it's working. And if you go into the database and it refresh, you can see that it has 2 entries, tag 1 and tag 2. And if you go into product to tag table, you can see that it has already created a relation between these 2 tables and have inserted the values accordingly. So what I have done is like to create another like model as well, you have to explicit call this create key on that. So that's why it was not working. So what we have done is we have destructured this request.body, and inside the tags we have said like create, and then we pass the tag JSON which we just got from the body. So, and you might be wondering like body also has this tag, so the later one gets replaced. So the tags which is given afterwards, it will replace the tag that was coming in the body. So this will pick up. So I hope you got my point. So in the next lecture, we'll see how we can retrieve this, and we'll move forward. So see you in the next lecture. In this video, we will see how we can connect 2 models. For example, we want to create the product, but we don't want to create the tags. The tags already exist in our database. We just want to connect those tags to the newly created product. So how we will do this is like instead of create, we will have another key here which is called as connect. And what connect does is it also takes an array and it just takes the ID. So ID1, so it's just the ID of a tag, ID2, and it's like not the ID, but it's obviously the primary key. So in our case, since ID is the primary key, that's why we are passing the ID, but you have to pass the primary key here. So now what it will do is it will not create the tags, and like it will not go ahead and create new tags in the database. What it will do is it will just attach the existing tags to this newly created product. So just go into the Postman and see, we will remove this tags here since we don't need this, and test product with tag, and the test product with tag, let's hit send. So ID is 9. If you hit refresh the database, you can see that we have 9 here, and in the tag we still have 2 tags only. It haven't like created any extra tags. And product to tag, you can see that ID 9 are linked to both the tags ID 1 and 2. So that's how you connect the existing tag to a product. Now what we want to do is we want to do 2 things. First, retrieve all the products of a given tag, and second, retrieve all the tags of a given product. So second one is your assignment. Just let me know in the discussion section once you complete this. For the first one, I'll provide you the solution. So how we can do that is we'll say const tags is equal to await Prisma dot tag dot find many. We want to like fetch all the tags, let's say, and we will say include. Same thing, the we did it in one-to-many relation. We have to say include tag is equal to true. And we will return this as response. Response dot JSON tags. And let's go into the Postman, create another request. Localhost, we will say here tags. Hit send. It crashed. Now the reason for the crash. Okay, field tags for include statement on model. Okay, we are fetching tag and we are including tags as well. So that's all. We need to fetch the product. So that's my bad. I am like fetching the tags and then including the tags. So that's kind of obviously nonsense. So we need to include the products here. So now let's go ahead and try this out. You can see that tag 1, it has listed all the products associated with tag 1, similarly for tag 2. So that's how you can do that. And if you want to fetch it for single tag, you can take the tag ID in the URL params and do the same thing. Instead of find many, you can say find and then the where clause with the ID. So that's it, how we can like deal with the implicit relations. Now in the next video, we'll see how we can deal with the explicit many-to-many relation, and we'll create one pivot table on our own. So as of now, this pivot table is managed by Prisma. Now what we'll do is we'll create this pivot table on our own and we'll try to manage that. So see you in the next lecture. Now let's go ahead and see how explicit many-to-many relation works. So in this video, we will try to create a separate pivot table by our own and see how we can implement that. So the idea is to create a cart functionality. So in the e-commerce websites, you have seen that we have a cart where you can add the items and check out those items later on. So first let's create a model which will be cart. And inside the cart, obviously we will have one primary key. So just let's copy this from here. And now what you'll have is we'll have a user ID, because cart will have a user, a product, and the quantity. So how many products he has added. So a user ID, which will be of type, obviously int. And now this user ID must be linked to a user as well. So a user, which will be of type user. And it says at relation. And inside the relation, we will pass two fields. A user ID, and it will reference the ID field from the user. So this is how it will work. It is model, not models. Okay. Yeah. Now, I guess we have missed one here. We won't pass this as string. Okay. So now what we will do is we have the user. Now we'll have a product ID as well. Product ID. Just let's copy this and we will replace it afterwards. And we'll have product ID. Here also we will have product ID. And it will reference this. Okay, so it makes sense now. And user will have a cart, which will be of type cart array, and product will also have a cart, which will be of type cart array. So it's a reverse relation, and it will be of type product. Now, I guess I have made some typos here, and it is ID. I guess I have added one extra square bracket. Okay, now it's fine. So in the cart, we have ID, which is a primary key. We have a user, we have a product, and another thing which we want is quantity, which will be of type integer. So for example, if I want to add X product, so for example, I want to order 3 products, so the quantity will be 3. So that's how cart look like. So this is how you create a pivot table on a custom. So you can see that a user may have multiple products in the cart, and the products may be associated to multiple users in the cart. So that's how it works. So let's go ahead and run the migration. I'll call this as create carts table. Hit enter. And now you can see in the database, we have this cart table where we have user ID, product ID, and quantity. Now in the next lecture, we'll see how we can insert data in this cart. Now let's go ahead and add some data into the cart. So what I have done is I have created this post route on users, user ID and cart. So I want to add a product into the cart of this particular user. So how we'll do this, we'll follow the 3-step process. First will be to get the user. Second will be, second will be to get the product. Third will be to construct the data and create a cart. So let's go ahead and do the first. So how we will extract the user? It's simple. So cost user is equal to await Prisma dot user dot find first or throw, and in find first we'll say where ID will be request dot params dot ID. It's ID. And we now fetch the user. We'll similarly fetch the product. So the body will come something like this. It will have product and the ID of the product and quantity. And let's suppose quantity 3. So the body will come in this format. So we'll extract the product ID first. So const product is equal to await Prisma dot product dot find first or through, and where ID colon request dot body dot ID. Sorry, actually product, not ID. And similarly here it will not be the ID, it will be user ID. Okay, so because we have this user ID here. Now to construct the data, so const data is equal to we'll say user ID will be user.id, product will be product.id, and quantity will be request.body.quantity. And now we will finally call the create function on the cart. The const cart is equal to await Prisma dot cart dot create, and inside the create we'll pass data, and inside this data we will say data. So you can use the shorthand as well. So just provide this data as it is. Now we will say response dot JSON cart. So this is how you do this. Let's give it a try and see if I have made some mistakes here. So I'll create a different route. I'll say localhost users, user ID 1, and say carts, and in the body, let's see, in the JSON, I'll say product ID, let's suppose 1, and sorry, quantity, let's suppose 5. And if I go into the database, I see we have a user of ID 1 and we have a product of ID 1 as well. Now let's hit send. Cannot get users 1 cards, so I guess I have made some mistake. It's a post route, okay, so it's a post route, not the get route. I got some error. What's the error? So data dot user is missing and data dot quantity is missing. It will be product ID. And okay, so here is a typo QU. So I just made a typo here. Now let's see if it's working or not. Okay, so it's working. So I have just created one cart item here. So I had user ID 1, product ID 1, and quantity 5. So in the next lecture, we'll see how we can retrieve the cart of a user. Now, what we want to do is we want to retrieve a cart of a given user. So in the first step, obviously, we'll go ahead and fetch the user. And then on the carts, we'll say find and give the user ID there. So like if you want to try it, just pause the video and try it on your own and let me know in the discussion section whether you want to like get a cart of a user or not. So just go ahead and do this. Now let's try to do it together. So we'll say const user, same stuff, await Prisma dot user dot find first dot through, and we'll say where ID colon request dot params dot ID, and we'll say const cart is equal to await Prisma dot cart dot find many. We'll call find many because obviously one user will have multiple entries of the cart, and inside where we will say user ID will be user dot ID, and we want to include product. So include product colon true. So I think this will give the required result. Now we'll say response dot JSON and we'll pass the cart. Now let's go ahead and give it a try and see if I have made any mistake. So I'll fetch the cart of user ID 1. Okay, it's a mistake. It's a mistake as usual. Now let's see what I have done wrong. ID is not a number because I have passed ID here. The same mistake I did in the previous lecture. So it's user ID, not the ID. So now let's go ahead and see. Okay, so it's working. So user ID 1, we have this product model, we have this quantity. Obviously, now we can like apply the logic on the front end or either on the back end just to multiply this price with the quantity and get the actual price of the cart. And we have to do this for all the objects in the array. So like this is a logical question. So that's how we retrieve the cart from many to many relation. So that's it from many to many relation. I'll catch you up in the next video.